Hello everybody, my name is Joe Carter and today I'm going to be demonstrating a new game that I'm working on called Battles Fantasy, and this is the 7th game in the Battles series. And basically it's a skirmish game, war game, where you fight a bunch of battles that are linked into a campaign game. And it's this is the first fantasy game that I've created, and I'm really excited about it because it's been a lot of fun to play test so far. And those of you that are familiar with my other game designs will be familiar with this design also, because it follows the same basic concept. So let me go ahead and there are two versions that you can play this game. It's a solitaire, and there's also a 2-player version that will come with the second set of tables for if you want to play another human. And so it's like I said, it's a fantasy theme, and you fight on a series of randomized maps with the different terrain features, and you try to kill the enemy army units. Basically, that's what your goal is, and to survive. So let me go ahead and get started. You have to bear with me if I lose my voice, because I spent an hour and a half recording this video earlier, and I realized that the video was completely screwed up, so I have to re-record the entire thing. So if I lose my voice, I'm sorry. So basically, the game consists of different types of army units, as in the other titles in the series, and this is based on a traditional fantasy setting, which I like. So let me go ahead and just start explaining the different units type. Now first of all, there are 4 army types in this game, the base game. There are the blue army, which is the player number 1, which you will play especially if it's solo. Solitary, you will always be blue player number 1. And there is also the yellow army, which consists of the same unit types as the blue army, but they are the opposing army. And then there's the Goblin army, and then there is the Orc army. Now in the future, I have some expansions planned that will introduce new monster types, and then new maps, new types of areas and stuff, terrain and stuff. So for now, the base game will include 5 forest maps. So let's see. Let me get some water here. Can't find my water bottle. Excuse me. Okay. So let me go ahead and explain the different unit types. For the blue army and the yellow army, they're the same. So first, this is my army that I've already fought 1 battle earlier, and this is the second battle set up. Okay, the first unit type would be cleric. Now the cleric, let me go ahead and explain. what each unit type is capable of. This is the tables book. And the cleric can cast shield spell. Now a shield spell basically, where did that come from? Okay. The shield spell basically decreases the chance of being hit by a weapon, an enemy's weapon. It does not protect against magic spells. Okay, the next spell is a cure spell. Now, a cure spell removes all negative spells or effects, regardless of what they are. And that's instantaneous. Okay, let me... see if I can find the right page here. Yeah, okay, the cure spell is instant. And next, there's a heal spell. Now, the heal spell, it removes wounds from a friendly unit at -1 wound per cleric level. Now, the maximum level a unit can be is level 5. Whenever you hire units, newly hired, they always start out at newly recruited. They always start out at level 1. And you can pay gold pieces to increase their level. And you earn gold pieces by winning battles and by killing enemy units. Okay. So, and just as a note, skeletons and zombies are immune to the heal spell, which means they cannot be healed. Okay, and then the third spell that the cleric has is shield. Wait, I already did shield, okay. I did cure, okay. Yeah, okay, I did all three. I was looking at the other chart. Now, for cure, that would remove curse, spell, disease, poison, sleep spell, slow spell, or the terror spell. Doesn't remove positive effects or spells, only negative. Okay. Next, we have an assassin. A little dagger there. He's an assassin. Assassins are like stealthy type characters. Let me go back. The cleric can cast spells and use a weapon. They're the only unit that can do both in the game. So it's like a healing type character. And then this weapon is their, they use a mace as a weapon. So they can do melee, hand-to-hand, and cast spells, but not attack spells, only protective spells or healing spells. Okay, next we have an assassin. Assassin is a stealthy type character, dark type character. And they use a dagger as their weapon. And they can only attack at a range of 1, as can the cleric, 1 hex. And basically they can also poison their weapon. And if the weapon hits, they can poison the dagger. If the poison dagger hits their target, then that's another +1 wound per combat round. Until either the target dies or the duration of the poison is dependent on the level of the assassin. So if it's a level 3 assassin and he poisons his dagger and he hits his target, that poison will last for 3 combat rounds, meaning a a +1 wound per combat round. That would be 3 wounds, guaranteed. Okay. Next we have a ranger. A ranger carries a bow. They're like a forester type character. And they can move more quickly through the trees, the forest, hexes. And they shoot. They can also poison their arrows. But they cannot cast any spells, just like the assassin cannot. Well, one other thing about this assassin is they have a plus 10% chance per level of getting a critical hit, like a sneak attack critical hit, which means they can roll 2 times on their attack chart. Wound chart. Okay. And next we have a fighter. Now a fighter basically just uses a sword and shield. He's a basic unit and he's a little bit cheaper to hire. But he does pretty good in combat. No spells, and nothing really special about a fighter, but he's a pretty tough character. And then next we have Necromancer. Necromancer is probably my favorite unit in the game. And Necromancers cannot do melee combat, hand-to-hand weapon combat, but they can cast spells, and they're kind of a dark character, kind of like the assassin. And the Necromancer spells include Curse, which Curse decreases the chance of a weapon hitting its target. Okay, and the duration of the Curse spell is +1 combat round per Necromancer level. So for example, if the Necromancer is level 3 and they cast Curse on this goblin, that spell's going to last for 3 combat rounds on the goblin. Okay, this is still recording. I have to double check this camera because I lost an hour and a half of recording. Got to be very careful. Okay, and the next Necromancer spell is Raise Zombie. Now, a zombie is an undead monster, and zombies fight for the Necromancer. This is a zombie. Now, to raise a zombie, there has to be a KIA, killed in action unit, on the battlefield. And you'd have to cast the Raise Zombie spell. And whenever you raise a zombie or summon a skeleton, it becomes the same unit number as the Necromancer that casts the spell. So for example, let's see if I can find zombie number 2, Blue. There he is. Okay, he casts this, instantly raises this zombie from this unit. Now, the lifespan of this zombie, he's going to be a level, let's say this Necromancer is level 3. So this zombie's going to live for 3 combat rounds. And then he's going to die. But he will also be considered level 3. Now whenever this Necromancer's number is drawn from the draw cup, order of action, both of them can move and perform an action during the same combat round. Okay. But if the Necromancer dies, the zombie immediately dies at the same time. So, very powerful spell. Now, let me go back. Each spell uses a certain amount of mana. Mana is the energy required to cast a spell. So to cast the curse spell, it's 3 mana. And it's lasts 1 round per Necromancer level. And to raise a zombie, again, the life of the zombie is 1 round per combat round per Necromancer level. But it requires 6 mana, which is a lot. That's the maximum amount of mana that an army unit has. Now they can recharge their mana if they're carrying mana potions. They drink a potion, it recharges it to 6. Okay. So the next spell is Summon Skeleton. Doesn't require a dead unit to raise. They're just summoned out of thin air. And it's the same rule. The Summon Skeleton is going to be the same unit number as the caster. And it's going to be the same level. So if this is a level 3 Necromancer, this skeleton's going to be level 3. And this skeleton's going to live for 3 combat rounds. And then he dies. And skeletons and zombies cannot be healed with the cleric heal spell. So don't forget that. Okay. And then the last Necromancer spell is Terror. Terror basically makes the target flee in terror, run away, terrified out of their minds. So that being terrified, if they're affected by the terror spell, makes them move towards the nearest, if it's an enemy army, the nearest triangle hex, and if they enter that hex, they exit the battle for good. And then if it's a blue army affected, they move towards a star hex, and if they enter that hex, then they leave the battle for good. Now they're not lost. They're put to the side, and then you can use them in the next battle. They're not dead. So that's one thing that's good. Now to cast the Terror spell, it requires 3 mana per round. Now let me explain. To cast a spell, the range of the spell also depends on the caster level. So if, for example, this is a level 3 Necromancer, they can cast the Terror spell at a range of 3 maximum. If they were level 5, they could cast it at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, way out here. But it has to be line of sight. Now, line of sight means you can see directly to the target. For example, these are all in line of sight. This is, yeah, that's line of sight right there. Barely. All 3 are line of sight, these goblins. Now, if this goblin was here, he would not be in line of sight. These trees are blocking line of sight. The spell cannot be cast on him. But if he's here, he is in line of sight still, even though he's in the trees, in the forest. This is open, so there's line of sight here. Okay. Now finally we have the wizard. Now the wizard has a lot of spells, and for example, the wizard can cast Disease Resist. Means it protects from being infected with disease, which makes them immune. Now, in this base game, only zombies can infect other units with disease. Now, disease decreases it slows down the unit, plus it makes it harder, it causes less damage, less wounds when they're attacking. So it basically weakens the target. Okay, the next spell would be, and then that's 3 mana, and the duration is 1 combat round per wizard level. Now, Cold Resist, it requires 3 mana, and it protects from cold attacks and spells, and it's the same thing. It's +1 combat round. The duration is +1 combat round per wizard level. Next, we have Fireball. Fireball is an offensive spell. It's not defensive or protective. It throws a large burning fireball. And that's instant. There's no duration. And the range, again, is 1 hex per wizard level. Now, the thing about fireballs and Ice Blast is if it's in line of sight and in range, it always hits. You don't have to roll for hit, not like a weapon. So they're very deadly if you can get in line of sight and in range. And then they're not protected. Now, if they have a fire resist or cold resist, let's say you're going to throw a fireball, but oh no, he's protected with fire resist spell by this goblin wizard cast fire resist on him. That means your fireball will not affect him while his protective spell is in effect. Now, you could use your cleric to remove... No, you can't do that. Never mind. Okay, that's not allowed in the game. Never mind. Okay, so you have to wait until this protective spell wears off, and then you could throw the fireball at him after that. Okay, next we have Fire Resist, which protects from fire attacks and spells. And that's instant, and that's 3 mana. And then Ice Blast throws a cloud of shards of sharp ice, as it's an offensive attack. And it uses 3 mana. And it, again, the range is +1 hex per wizard level. And finally, there's Sleep. Now, Sleep uses 6 mana, the full amount. And Sleep's very powerful because it puts the target to sleep. It's an offensive spell. And a sleeping target cannot move or attack or perform an action until they wake up or the spell is removed, whichever is first. So, okay, those are the wizard spells. I think that covers all of the yellow, and then the yellow army also has these same unit types as the blue army. Okay, we're doing good on the camera. Okay, next, I think we're going to explain, like I said, in this game, the base game, the armies consist of blue and yellow, which are the same unit types, plus there's a goblin army and then an orc army. Now, the goblin army consists of 3 unit types. Regular goblin, little nasty little creatures. And then a goblin wizard. You see the little wand in the bottom left-hand corner of the counter. And then a goblin archer. Now, all archers or rangers can shoot up to 6, maximum 6 hexes if it's in line of sight. Doesn't matter the level of the unit. But the chances of hitting are going to decrease a lot with the lower levels. Okay, so those are the goblins. Now, goblins, at the end of each combat round, if you're fighting goblin armies, there's a chance that they will get reinforcements. So you always have to consider that. And here we have our cuddly little orcs. Everybody loves orcs, right? This is a regular orc. This is an orc archer. And then we have an orc warrior. Orc warriors are the most powerful. And orcs and orc warriors are both melee combat at range of 1 hex, but the warrior is much more powerful and harder to kill too. And they can also get reinforcements at the end of each combat round, but there's a higher chance of goblins getting reinforcements than the orcs. Okay. And let's see, we've got, I think that covers the units. Okay, let me go ahead and, I talked about zombie. Yeah, these are zombies and skeletons. And like I said, the life depends on the duration of their life, depends on the caster's level. Okay, let's go ahead and go to, these are unit status sheets. This is status sheet 1 and 2 for the blue army. Each section is each unit type. You write the unit type here, you mark it. Now these are in the card clear holders, and I'm using a dry erase marker. We have the level, we have the unit type, level, arrows if it's a ranger, and then silver arrows, which only silver weapons can affect undead units like skeletons and zombies. And spells also affect them. But regular weapons do not affect undead units. And we have the silver weapons here. You can purchase between battles, and then potions. We have healing potions, mana potions, and poison potions. And healing potions restore 5 units of health. It just fully restores your health. So you can carry a maximum of 5 healing potions and 5 mana potions maximum, in that drinking 1 mana potion restores the full mana up to 6 again. And the poison potions can be used to poison assassins, daggers, or rangers' arrows. And then here we have this wizard, the Necromancer spells. You need to purchase spells when you hire a new unit. They do not come with any spells or potions. And then we have items, which is rings, ring of disease, ring of energy. Ring of disease gives immunity to disease. Ring of energy gives you a +2 mana per combat round. And these are a little bit expensive. And you can only wear 1 of each type of ring. They don't compound, so you can't wear 2 energy rings to get +4 mana. Can't do that. Ring of Fire gives fire protection immunity, and Ring of Frost gives cold protection immunity. Ring of Poison is immunity to poison. Ring of Speed gives increased movement rate per combat round. And these are constant effect. Then they don't require mana or anything like that. Mana is here, a maximum of, it's actually 6 mana, I'm sorry. Maximum of 6 mana. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I thought it said 5. And then wounds is 4, and then a 5th, your KIA. Now we have skeleton wounds. Like if it's a necromancer, this is their skeleton or their zombie. And then you mark off the wounds as you normally would. Regular wounds. Okay. And here is the condensed version. If you're playing the enemy yellow army bot, not a human, it's condensed, so a lot of the information was removed. When you're fighting enemy units it's not a human player, those armies, their mana is not tracked, the arrows are not tracked, those are unlimited. So you need to keep that in mind. For playability reasons, I did that. But if you're playing a human yellow army, you're going to have 2 full sheets like this, except in yellow. So it's going to take up a little more table space. Okay, here we have the Goblin army and the Orc army. And It's basically the same thing, unit type, and then wounds and stuff. Okay, we're about half hour in. I'm doing pretty well. I'm about to lose my voice, so please bear with me. Here we have the spells and effects mats. Now there's one for the blue army, and one for the yellow army, or monster army. Monster army covers goblins, orcs, and all other armies. So here we have spells, effects, duration, remaining combat rounds. So this is where you track what spells are affecting what, or effects are affecting which unit. Here we have the unit number for each army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There can be a maximum of 6 units for each army at any one time. And here we have the combat round duration, a maximum of 5. It is based on the level of the caster. Okay, so for example, we have these counters here. Okay, let's say my Necromancer here summons a skeleton. Where's my blue skeleton? There he is. Summons a skeleton, poof. Okay, out of thin air. Let's say this is a level 3 Necromancer. And then this is unit number 2. So unit 2, level 3. We're going to put it in the third box. Now that means the skeleton will live for 3 combat rounds, and then he disappears. He dies. Poof, vanishes. Gone again. Turns into a pile of dust. Whatever. So each combat round, you're going to move it 1. So let's say 1 combat round. Second combat round, they fight. Third combat round, they fight, but he doesn't die. They don't die. Fourth combat round, we remove this. And he's gone. You don't put a KIA unit for summoned creatures. You can't, keep recycling them like with zombies and stuff. It's like a one-time deal for summoned or raised creatures. Okay. Seem to be doing well so far. All right. So, okay, for example, I'm going to try to explain this quickly. You can have negative, positive, and negative effects or spells at the same time. Let's say you were attacked by, let's say this wizard was, okay, he's number 6. This wizard was attacked. Let's say a Necromancer casts a terror spell on him. Let's say a level 4 Necromancer. This is the first round. Okay, we put a 4 terror spell. And let's say he already had a protective spell. Let's say this cleric had already cast a fire resist fire resist spell. And let's say this is a level 2, and they cast it 1 combat round ago. So he has 1 combat round remaining. So you can have multiple effects or spells on the same unit with different remaining combat rounds for the duration. Okay, but you can't compound things. Like for example, let's say he still has 1 fire resist round left. And this... No, wait, they can't cast fire resist. The wizard casts fire resist. Okay. So let's say the wizard is like... That's a bad example. Okay, let's say there are 2 wizards. Can't cast. He can cast it on himself, actually. Okay. So he's going to cast Fire Resist on himself again. Even though there's one remaining. Let's say he's a level 3. He's like, oh no, I don't want to let this run out. So he goes ahead and casts another Fire Resist spell on himself. Level 3, 1, 2, 3. It can't go past 5. 5 is the maximum. So now you have two spells with 4 remaining combat rounds in effect. Now, if this, let's say this cleric, he's like, oh, I want to remove this terror spell. He's going to exit the battle. Before he exits, let's say he's here. Before he enters this space, I don't want him to leave the battle. So let's say this cleric casts Cure. So he casts Cure. The Cure spell would only remove the negative spell. So red is a negative spell or effect. Green is a positive spell or effect. Casting Cure only removes the negative spells and effects, but the positive ones remain. Okay, I think that's done with that explanation. Okay, so like I said, you can have multiple effects and spells on the same unit at the same time. Now, again, let's say I didn't cover zombie. Maybe I did. But anyway, the zombie, again, I'll explain real quick if I didn't. If there's a KIA unit, you replace them. You cast Raise Zombie, the Necromancer, and in that zombie's life duration is basically the duration of the spell, which depends on the Necromancer's level. So let's say this is a level 4 Necromancer. Now let's say it's a level 2 Necromancer. 2 combat rounds, he's going to live. So we're going to take our Raise. I don't have one. Where is it? Okay. Let me find a Raise Zombie. There we go. Raise Zombie. Okay, this Necromancer is level number 2, unit 2. And let's say he's level 2. So this zombie is going to live 2 combat rounds. Let's say he's moving, and they fight. They fight. And then they fight again, and nobody dies. Okay, the spell is ended. The zombie is removed. Drops dead. He's gone. Okay, that's that. Okay, and remember, you cannot cast heal. Like if you raised a zombie and they're fighting and he's almost dead, but he still has combat rounds remaining for his life, this cleric cannot cast heal on undead creatures. Okay, they're immune to the heal spell. So there's no way to remove wounds from a zombie or skeleton that's fighting for you. Okay, and I think that just about covers it. We're going to go ahead and go, I'm going to demonstrate a few combat rounds. Okay, this is battle number 2. Last time we fought 2 clerics. The first battle we fought 2 clerics and a ranger, the yellow army, and we kicked their butts. We killed all 3 and we didn't lose any units, which is really good. But we outnumbered them, so they didn't have much of a chance. But it was a good intro battle. Okay, all of my units, we started out. The game starting difficulty level is adjustable. You can choose how many gold pieces that you start out with to purchase, to hire units or equip them with spells or potions or rings or whatever, silver weapons. And I started so average difficulty, and I started all of them at a level 2 with the gold that I that I had. I purchased, I raised their levels to 2 after hiring them, recruiting them. And so this is my army. I have 1 of each unit type. So we'll go and get started. Unit order of action is determined in the draw cup by these numbers. The gray is the enemy goblin or orc armies. You put them all in the cup and you draw them out and see who goes first. Yellow is, of course, the yellow army. And then blue is, of course, the blue army. And when you draw the number, that means the unit number, it's the unit number's turn to do a movement or actions. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a couple of combat rounds to demonstrate. Okay, we have over here on this sheet, we have the Goblin Army. And unit number 1 is a Goblin Archer. He's level 3. These are their starting points. And unit number 2 is a regular Goblin. He's also level 3. And unit number 3 is a Goblin Wizard. He's level 5. He's a little bit dangerous. We have to be careful. But I think we can take him. Okay, we put them all in the cup. And we mix them around. And I'm not going to look. This is all going to be randomized. We're going to see who goes first. Okay, unit 4 goes first. That is my cleric. I think my cleric was over here, actually. That's okay, it doesn't matter. This is just for demonstration purposes. Now we'll put them back where they were. And I believe my ranger was here. Yeah, I think that's how it was. Okay, so the cleric, this is the heart of the game, is the tables book. There are only 10 pages, the same as with the other titles in the series. And they go in alphabetical and numerical order, and everything, most of the rules are integrated into the tables as notes, so there is very little to memorize. So you can just pick up the game again 6 months, a year later, and instantly start playing it again with very little work. So, because the rules are always right in front of you, most of them. So these are the setup tables, and these are the battle maps set up, and then here we have the combat. You only use this once at the beginning. And then you have the combat tables for the enemy army. And we have the blue army. There's a little bit of page flipping, but it's unavoidable with this system. But I think it works fairly well because I'm not a big fan of player aid cards where you have to shuffle them and search through them. And these are always in the same order, so you know where everything is. Okay, a lot of modifiers. Good replay value. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and there's a solo bot logic for the enemy when you're playing the solo bot. It's fairly logical. I designed it to try to make fairly intelligent choices based on its situation. Sometimes it doesn't always do logical things, but I think it works pretty well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and draw. We drew 4. Now the movement rate, each terrain type has a movement rate. Each unit types has a starting movement point, amount of movement points called MPs. MPs, here it shows the starting number per the unit. So zombie has 8. And a cleric, fighter, necromancer, orc archer, orc warrior, and wizard have 10 per combat round. Assassin, ranger, skeleton have 12. They can move a little farther. Goblins, goblin archers, and goblin wizards have 14. They really move. Okay, so each terrain type uses up a certain amount of movement points. For example, Forest Hills requires 8. We don't have hills on this map. And for Ranger, it only requires 6. So for Ranger and Forest or Forest Hills, it's -2 MPs. So they're really good in the Forest. Okay, Forest is a 6. And for Ranger, it's 4. This requires 6 MPs, a ranger 4 MPs. Grass terrain is only 4. It's not much. Road terrain is only 2. So they can really move on road terrain. Okay. So let's go ahead and flip over here. And I'm going to move my cleric. Let's see, I can cast a defensive spell, but no, I don't have any defensive spells. I only have, yeah, cleric can't cast defensive spells. Let's see, I have cure and heal, but I don't have shield. Shield is a defensive spell, but I don't have that spell. I only purchased cure and heal before the first battle. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're on grass terrain. We're going to go ahead and move towards the enemy. So it's going to be 4, 8, and we have now, if you have wounds, let's say one of your units is wounded, it's -2 MPs per wound. So if you have 2 wounds, that's -4. They're going to barely be able to move. So it really slows them down. So we got 4, 8, and I think the cleric has 10 maximum. Yeah. So we can't move anymore. Only 2. And that's it. Our turn is finished. 2. 2 is a Necromancer. So we're going to go 4, 8. That's it. We have a maximum of 10 MPs. We can't move anymore. Now, if we had a speed spell, that would give us a +2. We could move 1 more. But we don't have that spell. Or the ring. So maybe later we'll purchase a ring. Okay, Goblin unit number 1. Now for the solo bot, we're going to decide to see what he does. Sometimes they run away, depending on the situation. Then we go to table, oops, wrong one. Enemy army action. We go to D1. We're going to roll a D20 die. Ooh, we rolled a 20, so he will advance no matter what. We have the modifiers here. Whoever's in range, in line of sight, everything but level. So he's going to move forward no matter what. This is level, number 2, what was that? Number 1, okay. Unit 1, so he's going to move. He has a maximum of 14 MPs, wow. So he's going to use 4, 4, and only 6. Now, he's going to move towards the nearest enemy unit, which is our army. He doesn't need line of sight to move towards this. There's no fog of war in this game for playability reasons. So he's going to move towards the nearest enemy unit, which is our unit, which would be the archer. So 4, 5, 6, 10, 14. Okay. Oh, actually, yeah. So this is still, he's still the closest unit. Okay, his turn is finished. No line of sight to attack. Line of sight would be here. Can't see him because this corner is blocking. Okay, next. 2. Goblin number 2. Okay, we're going to roll a D1, see what he does. 17, yeah, he's moving. Okay. So we're going to help him out a little bit to help him move a little quicker. Usually they'll move in a straight line, but we can help him a little bit. So 4, 10, 14. He has no ranged attack. Spells, nothing. Okay, his turn is finished. Oh, another goblin. Jeez. Okay, we're going to roll for level 3. He's an 8 and number 3 unit, so he's a level 5. So that is for sure 11 plus advance. Okay, so 4, 10. Okay, he cannot stack in another friendly unit hex. So he cannot move anymore because this would require 6 and he only has 4 remaining MPs. So he's finished. Next. 6. Okay, this is our wizard. What are we going to do? If we move closer, he's going to go after him. Got to be careful. Okay, 4. I don't want to do that. It's too risky. Okay, we're going to move him here and wait. Okay, we're still out of line of sight, so... okay, and now we have 1, 2... Yeah, we can only do spells at a range of 2, a fireball. Because we're only level 2. Okay, his turn is finished. And our wizard has only the fireball spell. That's it. 3. Blue 3. Okay, 6. That's it. That's all he can move. He only has 10 MP, so this would require 12. 6 more. So he only has 4. 1. Okay, our assassin has, I believe, 12. So he can move 2 because he has 12 MPs. We're going to move a little bit further. Okay, finished. 5. Okay, our ranger. Ooh, I think we're going to go for the attack. 1, 2. Yes, we can do it. And we're going to roll for... We're going to do a shot. We don't have any poison, so we can't poison an arrow. Oh, I think... Yeah, we hit and we rolled a 10. Okay. We rolled on the attack table. Blue Army weapon attack. Table E3. And we hit because it was a 10. Automatic hit. So we mark off 1 arrow. We are carrying 10 arrows. Okay, this was from before. Okay, we marked it off. And we're going to go to a Blue Army weapon attack. And we're going to roll a d20 to see how much we hurt him. Oh, 13. 3 wounds. Wow. Okay, we have no DRMs. So no problem there. Wow, we really hurt him. 3 wounds on the Goblin Archer. So he's almost dead. What is unit number 1? Yeah, 1 more hit and he's dead. Okay, he's probably going to start retreating. Maybe we can kill him before he runs away. Okay, next. Okay, that's it. Everybody did their turn. Now we're going to go to E9. And we're going to skip all these. There are no spell effects. Oh, you know what? I didn't roll. Actually, I forgot. For the Goblin Wizard, I didn't roll for his action. I forgot to do that. Enemy army wizard spells. Okay, we always roll on this table, unless they're sleeping or something. And we're going to roll a d12 to see what he does. Okay, we rolled a 6. Okay, he casts a defense spell upon another EA unit, enemy army unit, within range and line of sight. Okay, this goblin is in range and line of sight. So he casts a spell, a defensive spell. We're going to roll a d10 to see what spell he cast. Okay, he rolled a 1. Disease resist. That's useful, actually. Okay, so he's a level 5, so he's going to have disease resist for 5 combat rounds. See if I can find it here. Where are you? I hope I have those. I think maybe I forgot to make them. Well, how do you like that? I forgot to make those counters, actually. I'll have to make those later. Okay, let's just say we... Oh, I don't have that? I thought I made those counters. Wow. Okay. Like I said, this is play testing. It's a work in progress, so you have to bear with me. Okay, I didn't make those, actually. I'll have to create those counters later. Okay, let's say we rolled a different roll result. So... let's say we did a poison resist. Okay, He's going to have poison resistance for 5 combat rounds. Oops, that's the blue army. Okay. Unit 2, 5 combat rounds, poison resistance. Now, that means if my assassin attacked him with the poison blade, poison dagger, the poison would not affect him. Now, the dagger would still wound him, but there would be no poison. So we wouldn't even waste a poison potion on him. Okay. Oh, I can't believe I didn't make that counter. Okay. So that's ended. And we're going to roll for reinforcements. There are no goblin reinforcements, so that combat round is finished. We go to the next combat round. And another goblin. Okay. Goblin number 2 is him. He's got poison resistance. Now we're going to roll to see what he does. 13, yeah, I don't even have to check the DRMs. I know he's going to move. Okay, he's going to move towards the nearest blue unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, in this situation, they're all equidistance, okay? Equal distance from him. So 4, 4, 4. So we're going to roll a d10. 1 to 5 means he moves towards the lowest unit number. 6 to 10 means he moves towards the highest. So 4 is left out. Either it's 1 or 5. Okay, it's 1. He moves towards 1. So 2, 4, 6, 12. Okay, he still has 2 remaining, but he's finished. Now he's going to attack my assassin. Now I do have cover because I'm in the trees, the forest. So 7 and a 2. So we go to the attack table. And we have DEF means the defender, ATK means the attacker for clarification. And it's a -1 per hex distance, so it's a -1. And a -2 because it's forest hex, -3. And the level is 2, okay, a +1, so -2. Yeah, and then it's, yeah. And it's a -2 for assassin defender. No, he completely missed. So that's it. 2. Okay. Okay, unit number 2 is my Necromancer. So we're going to go 4, 8. Okay, we are going to, for gameplay purposes only, I'm going to move him. Let's say he could move 1 more. I just want to demonstrate. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and cast, I do have Summon Skeleton spell. I'm going to go ahead and summon a skeleton. It's going to require 6 mana, which is a lot. Okay, materializes out of thin air. This is my number 2. You notice it's the same unit, number 2, 2. And also, this is level 2, so he's going to live for 2 combat rounds, and then he's going to disappear back to the netherworld. Okay, so we're going to grab a Summon Skeleton spell marker. And this is unit 2, which is my Necromancer, and we're going to put it here to track 2 combat rounds of the skeleton's life. Now the skeleton can attack during the same combat round. So we're going to go ahead and roll. Okay, and then the skeleton is considered the same level as the Necromancer who casts a spell. So this is a level 2, 2, 2. Everything's 2. Level 2 skeleton, and he's a level 3 archer. So, but he's in the cover of the tree. Oh no, he's in the grass actually. Let's go ahead and calculate these real quick. It's a 7. Yeah, I think he missed. I'm pretty sure. So let's see. Calculate these. Just 1 second. We go to table D4. -1 for range. And then let's see, the Goblin Archer has, oh, but he has 3 wounds. So that's going to give us, yeah, he hit him. Good, because the more wounds the target has, the easier it is to hit them. So we'll go ahead and we hit him. Our skeleton just kicked some butt. Maybe the skeleton has a sword. Who knows? Okay, we rolled a 9. 2 wounds. Yeah. Okay, he's dead. We got our first kill. So we remove him. Now we can replace him. This Goblin Archer's dead. We're going to go and replace him with a KIA. Now we don't have the raise zombie spell, my Necromancer, but we'll just leave it here anyway, just for reference. And then we go ahead and mark off Unit 1 Goblin Archer's KIA. We got our first kill. And we mark it off on, this is I didn't show you, this is the campaign log sheet. This is 1. Each one is 1 campaign. This is the short campaign, 5 battles. Here we have location, dead forest, desert forest, pine forest, and swamp. And we have the map number and the enemy army type and the enemy kills, and then the victory points for the battle and the total victory points for the campaign. So we have 5 battles maximum for a short campaign and 10 battles for a long campaign. Okay, that was our first kill. That was good. I think we'll go ahead and do one more combat round. Oh, wait, we're not finished yet, actually. So, okay, 3. Maybe we can kill the goblin. Number 2 goblin. Okay, our fighter. Nope. Okay, that's it. His turn's finished because he's in the forest. Move slowly. 4. Okay, this is our cleric. I think, yeah, we're gonna, our cleric has cure and heal. Nobody has any wounds, so we're gonna attack this 5. Okay, that's a miss, I can tell you right now. 6. 4. We can't move anymore because you can't end your turn by stacking if there's another friendly unit. 5. Okay. Now you can move through, and you can even stack on the KIA. You can do that, but you can't stack on a living unit. Okay. Okay, 4, 8, 10, 14. Did I have 14 or 12 for him? Let's see. Oh no, only 12. Okay. If I end in the row, that's more vulnerable. That's okay. Okay, we're going to shoot at the wizard, but we have to have a 10. I can tell you right now, a 10. We got a 10. Look at that. Lucky. Okay, so we use 1 arrow. We have 8 arrows remaining. Wow, that was a lucky shot. Okay, we go to table E7 to see how much we hurt him. 1. Okay. 1 means no wound, just a scratch. So, just grazed him. Okay, that was bad luck. 1. Okay, we're going to attack with our assassin. Okay, 7. 2 has no wounds. We missed. Now, if we were a higher level, if we were level 4 or 5 assassin, you have a much better chance of hitting him. 1. Okay, 1 is dead, so we'll remove him from the draw pool. 3. Okay, we're going to roll to see his action. 13. Okay. He's going to move towards the nearest. And let's see what he's going to do. Let's see his action. Okay, where's the wizard? 9. Okay, he's going to cast a negative spell. Okay, rolled a 3. Oh no! He just put my ranger to sleep. Okay, where's the sleep spell? Okay, he's a level 5, so my ranger's asleep for 5 combat rounds. Where's my... Okay, he's unit number 5. Wow, that's not good. Okay, this is unit 5. 5 combat rounds. I might use my Necromancer. Well, if we continue the game, I would use my Necromancer to wake him up. The cure spell. Okay, so that's that. Okay, the combat round is ended. So we move each one down a -1. The skeleton, summoned skeleton, still has 1 combat round of life left, and then he disappears. So the ranger cannot perform any actions or attack or do anything, move, unless the sleep spell is removed by the my cleric. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. This is just a basic overview of the game. And, oh yeah, I forgot to move this too. Here. Okay. And it's been a lot of fun playtesting so far. And I think there's enough variety and, you know, unpredictability and variation of many things to give it a good replay value. And it's like I said, it's my first fantasy game title design, and it's been a lot of fun so far. And the table footprint is not so large, a little bit larger than my other battles titles, but not that much. And it is 1 to 2 player, and it does have a true solo bot. So always keep that in mind. And I'm hoping the base game will be released on Wargame Vault within a few weeks. I want to do some more polishing and playtesting and corrections. And I'm hoping later on to have 4 different expansions that include new monsters and new terrain types of maps. Those would be desert, swamp, pine forest, and dead forest locations. So should be a lot of fun. And those will introduce a bunch of new monsters and some new spells and stuff. So anyway, but the base game will be perfectly playable without the expansions. So I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you next time.